Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks for swinging by. I sure do appreciate it. If this is your first time with the channel, my name is Mark.
Oh, hi Mark.
Welcome to Fit and Fire. Let's get into this video. This time we're going to be revisiting the Sig MPX. And a lot of you may not even know that I've done a video on this once before, but this was like almost 6 years ago in 2019. I was able to do a video with the help of KS Gun Guy. We met at his range and he brought the MPX, or at least the version that he had. Let me, shoot as many rounds through it as I wanted, and then I ended up doing a video very shortly after that. But essentially, I wasn't able to really do a deep dive into that platform as much as I wanted to. Fast forward to today, and I now have one. It's different, but I think we should still be able to get a good video and let you guys understand what you would be looking at should you just decide to get one for yourself, if I could even talk. But before we get into that, let's pay some bills. All right, guys, you know that I'm not going to do an ad read unless I like, and most importantly, use the product, which is why today's sponsor is Vertex. I've been a longtime fan of the cutback tactical pants that I've worn through many workouts, competitions, training courses, and just everyday wear since 2020. Vertex now has the Defiant jeans that is not only a new favorite of mine, but also my camera guy and podcast co-host, Hefe Actual. But hands down, my new favorite go-to is the Delta Stretch 2.1 pants due to its common appearance, yet rugged construction, awesome for work or play. Vertex is also known for their EDC fanny packs, backpacks, and gloves. The Assault 2.0 gloves are the ones that I'm absolutely loving at the range right now. Take 15% off your entire order by using code FITANDFIRE. You heard me correct, 15% off when you use the code FITNFIRE at checkout. It's a great way to tell Vertex I sent you while getting some great gear. Link and code in the pinned comment. Go check it out. All right, so thanks for bearing with me on that. I really do appreciate it. Let's get into the MPX, or at least the version that I have here on the channel. This is going to be an 8-inch barrel version of the MPX, which is no longer offered by Sig. Unfortunately, if you're looking for something like this, the only thing they do offer is a 16-inch barrel version, a 4.5, or a 3.5-inch barreled version as well. Why they went away from the 8-inch, I'm not sure, but this is the length of barrel that I prefer when it comes to these styles of PDWs. I'm okay with maybe 6-inch, 7-inch, 8-inch. Those three barrel lengths are where I like it to be, because that really maximizes the potential of the 9mm cartridge. There are a lot of different things that you can do to sidestep that, but realistically, if you're looking for just standard personal defense style ammunition, 6, 7, and 8-inch barrels are going to really maximize the potential and give you the most foot-pounds of energy on target, regardless of distance up to 25 yards. So that's kind of why I wanted to get this. I saw it at my local shop, American Cash Exchange, which I need to say a huge thank you to them. They are one of the biggest supporters of this channel. They got me set up with this. I did purchase this with my own money, but they did end up setting me up with this and, took care of me as well. In addition to that, they let me use their range for all of the shooting content. So without their help, I really couldn't do a lot of the things that I do on this channel. So I do appreciate it. If you're in the Manhattan, Kansas area, swing by, check them out, tell them I sent you. Okay, so let's get back into it. The MPX is a very interesting design of a PDW, PCC, subgun, whatever you want to call it, for a couple of different reasons. But normally we are seeing these styles of firearms set up in a blowback operation. So either it is going to be direct blowback like the Beretta PMX, or a roller delayed blowback system like the MP5 or even the Strybog. This is actually going to be a short stroke gas piston operated system, which is completely different than all the other ones. And I think one of the only ones on the market today. if I'm wrong about that, let me know down in the comment section, but I feel as if this is like the only one. So with that being said, this then gives you a completely different recoil impulse when you're behind the trigger, and something that ends up feeling more like an AR-15 than, say, a blowback AR-15 9mm style firearm. That is one of the biggest complaints when it comes to these types of 9mm PDWs, is when it's a blowback design, it's really punchy, whereas this, not so much. So that's one of the things that I really do like about this. The second thing is that this is very similar to the MCX. It's just a miniature version of the MCX. So that's going to have a lot of the same AR-15 manual of arms that you should expect for something like this when it's kind of cloning the MCX. So not only is this fully ambidextrous with the charging handle, the safety selector, magazine release, and slide release, but you're going to have that same manual of arms, especially when you're reloading. You know, everything, all of the controls are right where you would expect them to be, which is something that I really do appreciate. And moving from something like the big boy I have right here to something smaller like this, that makes it a lot easier, and you don't have to retrain yourself. So that's another great aspect of it as well. This ends up being a really good suppressor host, and much like I did in previous videos, I went ahead and set up my camera at 25 yards, shot 5 rounds of 115 grain, 5 rounds of 124, and then 5 rounds of 147 subsonic, and that's what this sounds like. So as you could hear, the 115 and 124 grains still had a bit of a snap, but the 147s, obviously they're subsonic. Those were pretty quiet, and even with my hearing protection on, I could hear the round impacting the berm over the operation of the firearm. So that's something that I really, really do like. So, a lot of versatility with this. I have a magazine from Sig, but I'm also running these Thrill magazines. I have 3 of these, and these have ran flawlessly. I've got 350 rounds through this so far. I have no idea how many rounds were put through this prior to me owning it. But for most people, it's probably only going to be a couple hundred rounds. So we're looking at probably about 500 rounds conservatively estimating on this. So it seems to be running just fine. I have had 0 issues, no failures to feed, fire, or eject, exactly what you would expect. So that's been great. Wonderful suppressor host. I've been running the rugged Obsidian 9, and this has done very, very well. However, this is not without its issues. I know some people have complained about certain aspects of the MPX. I'm pretty sure there's been some issues with this in years past. If you guys have experienced any issues with the MPX, please let me know down in the comment section down below. I personally haven't ran into anything, with the exception of how the suppressor setup is done. The barrel, for whatever reason, Sig has decided to thread it with the 14x1 left-hand shoulderless setup. So this is a tapered barrel to the threads. So there's no shoulder for you to butt the suppressor or a barrel adapter, a muzzle device to. So that makes it extremely difficult to suppress. If you do end up direct threading a suppressor, you really should have some rock set. But even at that, I know that Sage Dynamics with his MPX-K ran into a lot of problems with that. So just be very mindful. What I did was ended up getting a tri-lug adapter from a company called In Lead We Trust. Now, they have no idea that I'm doing this video. They don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. I just did a Google search to find a muzzle adapter for a can, and they were the first that popped up in the search results. So what they have is a tri-lug adapter that conforms to the taper of the barrel, and I was able to torque this down, and it has held up very well. There has been no movement whatsoever, which is something I really am happy to hear, because heaven forbid I'd have a baffle strike on a fairly new can. That would really suck. But that is one of the great things about In Lead We Trust. The next thing that I will say very good things about and highly recommend them to you guys if you're looking for anything with the MPX is when I purchased it, the moment that I said buy now, I received an email that they received the order, they processed the order, and they shipped the order within 5 minutes of me hitting buy. So that was insane quick. You know, I mean, I was not expecting it to be that fast. Naturally, it wasn't in the mail within 5 minutes. It was later that day, but since I am centrally located in the United States, it got to me pretty quickly. It was only 2 days. I bought it on Wednesday, hit my mailbox on Friday. That's super cool. That's the way that businesses should run. So good on them for getting that out there really quick. Now, the other thing that I'm a little discouraged by when it comes to the MPX is, as it stands in 2025, they only offer 3 versions of this: the 16-inch, 4.5-inch, and 3.5-inch barreled versions. And to be frankly honest with you, I prefer this over all of those. So let's say that you ended up with the MPX-K, so the 4.5 barreled version. You could go to In Lead We Trust and pick up a longer barrel. They have, I think they have like a 5.25-inch barrel version. They have a 8-inch as well. So if you're looking for something a little different, you could do that. Unfortunately, it's going to cost you. I mean, we're talking anywhere between $350 to $400 on those barrels, but that's because of the gas system that is being ran through this. The barrels are a little bit more expensive, so there is that. The older versions also have this proprietary handguard, which is not something I particularly care for. The new versions do have M-lock, which is good to see, but when they first introduced this, this was the proprietary design. As you can see, I do have a pick section right here and then one at the bottom. I wanted to put a hand stop on here, but to be frankly honest with you, once I put this pick section on the bottom and then would put a hand stop, it was just going to be too much stuff going on here. So I've actually used the pick section as a hand stop itself. I use my index and ring finger to kind of like clamp my hand around there, and then my knuckle kind of butts up against this pick section here. So I don't have any concerns with getting out in front of the muzzles, especially when it's suppressed, because at this point we're now approaching 16 inches on this. So there is that. So what has been my experience when it comes to shooting this? After 350 rounds or more, actually, I think I've had 0 issues. As mentioned, no failures to feed, fire, or eject. Exactly what you would expect. And the thing that I really do like about this, also, as I've mentioned before, is the fact that this has a recoil impulse that is more similar to an AR-15 than that of, say, like an MP5 or even the Beretta PMX. Those blowback designs are pretty punchy. This was not, in my opinion. So that's another great attribute to this. And one of the reasons why I ended up shooting this a little bit more than I normally do when it comes to like my first impressions videos. I usually run about 200 rounds. This was well over 350 because I just could not stop shooting. It was so much fun, and just thinking of different ways to shoot this and get some content for you guys and stuff like that. So just a lot of fun. The back end here has a Picatinny section for any type of brace and or stock if you want to form one it. I do have this just simple SB tactical brace on here that I think they call it the Sig brace. I'm not sure, but essentially it is very similar to that of the Sig stock, their OEM stock. Similar, not exact, but very similar. And it was fine. It worked just fine. It's a little stiff on getting this to fold, and once it's in its clap position, it does lock itself in. So getting it out can be a little sticky. But outside of that, this thing has ran great. So where do we go from here? Well, we will be comparing this to the other PDWs that I have already looked at and will be looking at, because there's at least one more that is going to be the CZ Scorpion. I just picked up one today, so hopefully I should have some content for you guys next week or very soon at the very least. And then from there we'll start getting the round counts higher on the different versions that we've looked when it comes to PDWs, and then do a comparison between the 5 different ones that I currently have. Is it going to be a all-inclusive like rundown of PDWs? No, there are tons of different things that are out there. I mean, obviously there are you know, things like true MAC-10s, you've got Tech 9s, you got Uzis, you got B&T TP9s, you got APC 9s. There are a lot of different things. I might throw another one in there. We'll see what I can get to, but at the end of the day, this is going to be something that needs to be in the conversation when it comes to the PDW PCC subgun discussion. So there we have it. My question to you guys is, what do you think about the MPX? Or at the very least, when it comes to PDWs, what is your go-to? What is the one that you have or want to be part of your collection? Personally, for me, these types of firearms are going to do very well in an urban environment, something for home defense especially. A lot of people like to use it for like a truck gun or a backpack gun. That's another viable option as well. But for individuals that live in like high-rise apartments or apartment complexes or something to that effect, these may be a better option than, say, an AR-15, regardless if that's 5.56 or 300 blackout. I think that the 9mm subsonic defense projectiles are going to be better suited for that type of scenario. And most people live in, you know, pretty densely populated cities or suburbia or whatever the case may be. So that's kind of where I stand, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. Sound off in the comment section down below. Really do appreciate you guys swinging by and checking things out. Like I said, this has been a lot of fun. I'm going to keep on doing PDW stuff, so hopefully we'll have some more videos to you guys here pretty soon. With that being said, though, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. If you have any questions whatsoever, check out the pinned comment. A lot of additional information there. We'll catch you guys next time. As always, freedom through strength. Catch you guys later. Bye, y'all.